what is structured thinking? And I think you mentioned it, that you teach this to your children, right? So how they get on with structured thinking?
Well, all right. It's the way that children think automatically. It's only when they're taught by their parents, the schools, the media, their teachers to think the wrong way that they stop thinking with automatic structured thinking. All I do is put back in place the natural ability we had as a child. You know, when we were two, you know, there was a divergent thinking test done, which is a test that works out genius level, and they tested it on children. And they tested it on 3 to 5 year olds, and then they tested them again when they got a few years older, and again a few years later, and again a few years later. And they got to the age of 25, and at the age of 25, they had a genius level was 2%. Right? When they were at 3 to 5 years old, what do you think the genius level was? 98%. So all of this fantastic education that we're given is draining out of people their genius. That's all I do is put it back. Yeah, and the genius comes from structured thought. So of course, my wife and I, we're C grade students. We're not Einsteins or anything like that. We're just normal C grade students. So I give my children structured thinking. They're A grade students. Yeah, they just do it. They don't. It's easy for them. While their friends are at home studying, they're out playing on skateboards and things like that because they know how to learn because they've got structured thought. So when they're in the lesson, they learn. Right? And there's ways of doing it. And so because I show them the benefits, like, when I taught them about drugs and that sort of thing, people worry about drugs. No, it's just all you got to do is give the children the structured thought technique that all adults get at a certain point in their life. Now, some of them have to go through drugs to get it, and a few of them don't have to go through drugs to get it. Right? But they all reach a certain point where they go, yeah, the high is great, but the low is really, really bad. Right? And so at that point, their structured thought kicks in for most people who, and goes, well, this is ridiculous, right? Okay, I can have the high, but I've got to have the low. Don't really want the low, so I won't have the high either. I'll just enjoy myself as it is. And that's a simple structured thought. So, instead of me teaching my children, don't do drugs, I said, no, don't, if you want to do drugs, you give them a go, right? But let me just explain to you how it works. I've never done drugs in my life before, but I've worked with a lot of people who've done a lot of drugs. And, I said, well, you get this fantastic high. It's much higher than you get normally, but then you get this terrible low. Right? I said, then the only way to cure the low is to have another fantastic high. And then what happens is you get the inevitable low. And I said, so your life goes up and down and up and down and up and down. You have all this turmoil going on in your life. I said, but at the end of it, or you can just have a great life and not have the tremendous high and the really, really bad low. And of course, what do the children do?
Yeah, now we're talking about children. I was amazed because, our little one, she's 5.5. And if you give her a piece of paper and a pen, she can create a whole universe out of nothing. Like, she can create anything. I was like, and before I was like, well, that's fine, she's playing. But now I actually pay attention to every single thing she creates because I was like, she lives in that moment. So all that matters for her right there is that moment and that thing. So she's not thinking about something else in the future, something in the past. She's right there. She's thinking about, she's living that vision, that idea she's got. And I was like, how the hell she does that? And I actually pay attention when she does it. So that's pretty cool.
One of the things I teach about when finding your purpose and that sort of thing, your purpose usually comes from when you were 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. Because that was when you were pure. That was when your mind was in the right place. Mine was, and that was how I partially found mine. Because I sat there and I thought, well, what did I want to do? What did I want to do as a kid? What did I dream of doing? You got all the normal things, and I wanted to be a pilot, but I had poor eyesight, so I became a pilot years later, but I wanted to fly jets, and they wouldn't let me fly jets, so I thought about all the other things, and it came back to when I was about 5 years old, and I watched the program Thunderbirds, and International Rescue would go around the world rescuing people, and I didn't build International Rescue, but I dreamt of building it when I was 5 years old, but now my books go around the world rescuing people. So when you're right at the right point, when you're at you can you end up living your dream. So I'm living my dream as a 5-year-old. And that's, you know, so of course that's in line with my whole purpose.
Andy, what is your purpose in life?
Changing the world one mind at a time.
Awesome. Great. Straight to the point, the way I like it.
Took me a very long time to simplify it to that one sentence. Took me a long, long time, right? That wasn't like just because I could come out with it very quickly there. Right. But that was it. That was my purpose.
Could you please tell us a bit more about your new books, you know, the Bug-Free Mind books?
Right, okay, yeah. It's well, the new book, the latest one I wrote was the Mastering the Law of Attraction, which I see you've got there. That's just focusing on purely on mastering the law of attraction, because people want that, you know, to get rich and whatever. So I just focus on that. But a Bug-Free Mind is all about the first part of it. The first book is all about the end to suffering. You know, it's like what, you know, Buddha said and that sort of thing. It is all about how to live the most amazing life. So you drop all of the negativity, all the baggage, all the, you know, all the effort and all that sort of thing all goes. It's just gone. All of the pain of life is cleaned up, you know, and then all of a sudden at the end of that, you're literally back to, you're not completely bug free yet, but you can see that you're so close. You know, you can see so many changes in your life. It's untrue, and you're just back to how your mindset used to be when you were young. You know, 3, 5, 6, 7 years old. When you see all the potential, right? And then the second one cleans away the last remnants of the bugs that are in people's minds, and you know, these can be from anywhere, right? As you well know. But then what it does is it just literally says, right, okay, well, here's how to stick a turbocharger on your life, and here's how to literally take your life to whatever level you want to go to. Mine, I went, right, okay, I want to sell 250 million books around the world, because I know that that's about 3.14% of the population. And if I can get to 3.14% of the population and teach structured thought to 3.14% of the population, it will cause a tipping effect, and then it will become adopted as the normal way to think. Just like at the moment, the normal way to speak is in English for a large percentage of the world. Yeah, it becomes the norm. So my goal was like, right, okay, well, you know, I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing that. And so by doing it, I change one mind, and that person's mind changes the minds of the people around them. Then they bring in more people and that sort of thing. It's been a bit of a viral thing. This is why it's got to so many countries in such a short period of time. And we haven't actually started the business properly. And we're not actually starting the business properly until January. So, you know, it's a virus, you know, but a good virus in the right way. So it just gives people the ability to create their life of their dreams and not doubt it anymore. Most people are sitting there, they'd love to think that they could be rich, but they don't dare to dream. They're scared of it now because their life has shown them that they can't achieve it. You know, and when I wrote these books, I of course was aiming at a 47-year-old guy, and I was about 44-year-old, you know, because I was aiming it at a guy, knowing that women love this stuff more than men anyway. So I wanted to have 50-50 people in this. And I thought, oh, well, this will probably be of interest to people up to about 65 years old and that sort of thing, and down as low as 30, maybe 25 years old. Oh, no, it's gone much wider than that. I have people in their 80s and 90s loving this, right? And we have people down, youngsters coming in who are 18, 19 years old going, this is amazing and that sort of thing. And, you know, you just see what they do in such a short period of time because their minds are so close to their natural success mindset. They just go and achieve amazing stuff in no time at all.
That you're seeing on the screen, you can go there and get these life-changing books, regardless of, you know, whatever problem you have right now. If you have tried for a long time to achieve something, whatever that is, or to fix something, I'm pretty confident that the key is over here. In these books, they will help you to accelerate things, to turbocharge your success, and you won't be disappointed at all. I can assure you that. Now,
when they go to that link, do they not get the law of attraction first?
Yeah, they can get those. That's right. Yeah. They can get all those books, but that's the way they can get, you know, all these tools that can help them out.
Yeah, the law of attraction is free, so you know, I give people that to show them how powerful they are, really.
Oh, that's great, because I don't have that one. I'm going to claim it myself. Actually, and you know, Santina and I, you know, sleep in the same bed, but we sleep with them as well. So it's the four of us in the same bed, right? So, which is quite funny. It's actually true.
If someone wants to really up-level their standard of the quality of life, their vision of personal growth and achievement in terms of business success or family relationships or personal growth, I mean, it's phenomenal. It is transformative.
Since reading the books, I don't judge people. I don't worry about anything. I've got the techniques to, if anything comes into my mind, I think, well, that's not helping me. So I don't worry. I don't get stressed. I live in the now, and just a lot more peaceful. And I just feel that life's going the right way.
I have found out that things like stress, fear, anxiety, these things are illusions. And when situations come up in your life, if you can actually just refer back to at least learning those things that you've learned through the books, it makes your life much easier, it makes your life better, and it starts, in my case, to put me on a better path.
As everything really valuable in life, most things are really simple, and it's all about, finding the things that you love to do, and the financial benefit is a byproduct of that. Yeah.
Who he is being just speaks volumes. There's a wisdom, there's a knowledge, and there's a real generous sharing of the heart that comes across that makes all the difference in the world.
So his philosophy is different to other personal development books because he shows the practical way of personal development, or his concept.
And one useful thing I've done through reading the books is to actually stop watching TV like a robot, and it's freed up time for me to do things like read books, which I think will do me far more good than just sitting in front of the TV watching a whole string of programs that I never even remember or do me any good,
My mind had been shifted significantly. I understand more about a lot of things. My mind opened more, and I know for sure that by applying these techniques, I'm living my design.
I like the way he delivered it in simple language so that the lay person in it can understand.
There's a system in place that teaches, it shows us that if we follow these steps and apply it with vigilance and commitment, it's possible to have a real powerful transformation.
Since I've read the books, my worries and fears have all gone. I am 100% happier, and I live my life to the full.
So it gives you a purpose and a sort of focus, and perhaps a start and end point, so you know exactly where you're going to. Because the hardest part of any journey is actually taking the first step.
So, yeah, I do know that it's going to change things radically on all fronts. Whatever you want can happen, actually.
Just do it. It's just to take you to that level. You'll know what you want, or if you don't know what you want, you'll know how to find out what you want. You'll know how to get the things that you want in your life, and you'll have great fun.
We can learn and understand things, but when we actually learn to know it and integrate it and apply it in what we're doing in our lives, anything is possible, and that is so exciting.